guys, welcome back to my channel. And today we are building the mint generation house for my upcoming Not So Berry challenge. If you've not seen my create a sim, it's my previous video. I will link it in the top right corner for you, and it will also be on the little end card at the end of the video. So originally I made this house in Oasis Springs, as you can see, and I mentioned that in my previous video, but it's completely different to what I envisioned, and I go a completely different route with it. So I end up moving it to Evergreen Harbour, and it fits so much nicer there. But it's kind of got that quaint little farm cottage vibe almost, but also not. Like, it's definitely more like the houses that are in Evergreen Harbour, you know, those kind of residential little homes that are in a little neighbourhood. I don't know what you'd call them. They're just little residential houses. So I'm just mapping out the floor plan now, I believe. I try and pick as many mint kind of coloured things as I possibly can, because obviously this is the mint generation house. She's not going to be here her entire life, because I definitely think I want her to have more than one kid. And there's only 2 bedrooms in this house. But I thought for a nice little starting point, this was a good house for her. I changed the shape of this bathroom, that little square that I just put in, because I couldn't fit the windows and the door nicely in the front here, and I didn't want to add an extra window or anything. So I make it slightly longer, and then you'll see I switch here because I just faffed around for ages with windows. So I cut that out. I use the Parenthood kitchen counters in here, and I use the kind of white coloured ones on the bottom, and I think I use mint cabinets because it just looks so good. And it works. It just really works, despite not being like the same colour as the counters. In fact, I think it looks better, in my opinion. It just seems to flow better, and having all mint in the kitchen just looked way too much. It was too green. Yeah, here I am putting the mint cabinets in. I think it looks really nice. It seems to go really well. I don't have any windows on that side, so I don't know if that's a problem or not. I don't seem to mind it. I put the country kitchen kit flooring in because there's a couple of nice green swatches, and it looks really good. I always put a little fence here. I think it's the get to work one, but it just looks like, you know, when you go between doors in your house, there's normally, it's not skirting, I don't know what it's called, but there's something that kind of blends the 2 different types of flooring together. That little fence is amazing, looks exactly like it, and your Sims will walk over it because it's low enough. It's like a really low fence. They'll walk right over it. It's perfect. I think I was looking for a green tile in here, but I think I end up just doing white subway tiles and a mint green kind of wallpaper. So subway tiles on the bits behind the counters, and then a mint wallpaper which I carry through into the living room on the other walls. Yeah. I think it looks really nice. It's simple. It's not too much. I applaud anyone that can play their game in a fully mint house, because too much of one colour just really annoys me. It's so distracting. So I have to have mint, or whatever colour we're going to be on, mixed in with other tones. You'll see at some point here I actually shrink that chimney because the windows don't fit. I've cut a lot of that out though, because it was very repetitive. You might have also noticed that my reshade changed slightly here, because I was trying out another one. I can't remember the creator, but I'll link them below. I was trying out one that Plumbee had recommended in one of her latest videos, the ice cream Reshade preset, but I end up switching back here to the Dove Reshade preset. I'll link both of them below just in case you want to try them. They're so good. I really love the Dove one for building. It gives that shadow to everything and it just makes them really stand out and it looks so good. This living room is just really simple. I shrunk the tiny living coffee table and put a second one under the normal size. I do that quite often. On the gallery, I recently did a trailer build and you'll see that in the coming week. It might be Friday's video. I've not decided yet. But I do the same in there. I just pop a little tiny living table and then shrink a second one underneath and it just looks really good. I do it with the island living ones as well. Oh, these plants, the ones I've popped on the table and on the fireplace, they are CC. So if you do want to download this house, I will upload it to the gallery, but you'll have to include custom content. And the only custom content in here are those plants. They're by Maxis. I don't have a video up about their stuff, but I'll link a few creators that have made videos on it below, and I will link the actual CC itself. The bathrooms are really quite mint. I use the Spade tiles. I feel like all my bathrooms just look exactly the same. I don't really do anything too different with them, and I make all of my bathrooms this size, regardless of whether they've got a shower tub combo or just a shower or just a bath in them. Always the same size. I did want to put another staircase inside leading down to the basement, but I think later on in the video you'll see I have stairs leading down to the basement from the outside instead. It turns out quite nicely. I actually really like it. I never know how to properly decorate hallway areas, so I just do, again, the same thing. A little console table and then clutter. Can't go wrong. How nice does this flower look, this orchid? It's amazing what CC creators can do. That looks like it should be in the game. You would never realise that was CC. It's amazing. As the Let's Play goes on, you probably will see me using more built and by CC. I do want to start introducing it into my game again, but it will be very Maxis match. I don't like anything that looks too alpha. I do actually have some CC clothes that I need to go through and delete because they do look alpha. I think it's some of Trillick's old stuff, like their older CC that's like really patterned, and obviously when they've created that item of clothing, that pattern's come from something that looked quite alpha CC, something that looked quite real. So I'm going to take them out. They're still great pieces, but they don't fit the game and it just looks too out of place. I was thinking I might do a couple of CC makeovers to the pancakes next, or the BFF household. Let me know what you think. Who would you like to see first? The pancakes or the BFF household? So that's Travis, Summer and Liberty, in case you didn't know. Yeah, so the bathroom up here looks exactly the same. I actually have had to go back and film me putting this in because I completely forgot about it at first. So I had to just sneakily slide that in. Hopefully you can't notice it too much in the editing that it's a completely different day that I've filmed that part. Yeah, see, I've just completely blanked it. I've moved on and I don't go back to it, which is why I had to film it a separate day. I can't not have an overgrown look to my houses for some reason. If there is stone on the exterior, then you best believe I am going to be putting ivy or trellises or something all over it. Any excuse for it to look planty as hell. It makes the build so much better. I don't think I used any debug objects in this build though. It's all in-game without cheats. And I made, see at the front here with the half wall, that's like a custom planter almost. So you'll see, I think coming up quite shortly actually, I go in and I raise, so it's like a little room in itself. I raise the platforms up so that there's just a tiny little space between the top of the half wall and what is essentially the floor of that room now. And I cover it in one of the miscellaneous floorings. I don't know if it's base game or get to work. but it's just like a dirt swatch. So I play around here with a bunch of different plants and end up just putting planters to begin with. This is something I saw Evelyn do with the base game planters that we got in an update ages and ages ago, but I don't like the way that it looks. I like the way hers looked. I don't like the way these ones look. These are the get together ones, I think. So this is where I raised the platforms up. And then I just chuck in a bunch of flowers and plants and stuff. I use a lot of Romantic Garden in this build because I got it quite recently. I've been kind of putting it off getting it because I was like, oh, I don't really need it. And then I went onto CD Keys and they had this, the Perfect Patio and Luxury Party for like $5 each. So I can't really go wrong with that. That's about the same price as I paid for the kits. So why not? Which, when you look at it like that, I can understand why people think the kits are really overpriced. And to be fair, they are. I definitely think they would have been better priced at like $3.99. I changed the fence here as well because it just looks weird. I couldn't for the life of me figure out why that wasn't working. I don't know if it's just a glitch or not. I swear it normally works fine. So I had to move the stairs back out one. And I used the season fence because it just, again, it looks really good. I think that was just a normal wall, the white one. But I think I changed it to one covered in greenery, of course. Yes, there we go. All the greenery. When else am I going to be able to cover a build in greenery? Well, maybe with the green generation, but the mint generation's a scientist and I feel like she'd be really into plants, whereas the green generation, I think, is the tech guru career, and I'm not sure how into plants they would be. I don't think I'd keep them there because it just looks so out of place. There's actually quite a big gap. Yeah, see, a gap. So I just put some plants here. I love this. Is that a hosta plant? I think it is a hosta plant. My dad used to have hosta plants in our garden when we lived in our old house. I love using it in The Sims. It's such a nice plant. I think it's really well made. So I use it all the time. These plants are really good as well. In my upcoming trailer build that I mentioned, I use debug versions of these with red flowers, and oh my days, I love them so much. They're from the live edit objects. I believe they're like part of Newcrest. They might be in Willow Creek as well, but the ones with the red flowers are definitely in Newcrest. There we go. I've used my hosta, as you can see. I think I use it in the back garden as well. It's just such a versatile plant. I love it. You think I would have noticed here that I haven't done that bathroom? I don't. I completely finished the build without even realizing that I have not finished that bathroom. I can't believe I did it. I did a red room, obviously for the next generation, but this wallpaper is really overpowering on its own, so I had to just do a feature wall and white walls. And I do the same in the mint kind of room. I do a feature wall. I think I use the cats and dogs bed here. No, I don't. I use the eco lifestyle one. I could have sworn I used the cats and dogs one. I used the new wardrobe that we got in the 21st birthday update. I think, is that by Peacemaker? I love Peacemaker. Their CC, oh my goodness, so good. I do use the cats and dogs bed. I knew it. See, look, here I am fighting with mirrors. And then I thought, oh, maybe a vanity, but I don't feel like she's the kind of person that's really into makeup as a scientist, you know? These hanging plants are from that CC plant kit by Maxis. I could have used the nifty knitting ones, but these ones were just right in front of me and they were available. And I think I only used 2 of them, but I would have used so many more. In fact, I think you see me try to cram more plants in before I finally admit defeat and just put a little footstool. I was going to use this chair, this little armchair from Nifty Knitting, but I just used this eco lifestyle one instead because I think it looks a bit more modern, a bit more sleek. And then, yeah, just a little white rug. That's that room done. I leave the Rose Generation room completely unfurnished because there's no point putting anything in it until the Rose Generation is born. Honestly, I didn't think everything was going to fit in here because with this kind of bathroom, I normally would put the door in the middle. And I was like, oh my goodness, this isn't going to work. But I had my sim playtest that and it works. All of it works. Obviously, I have BB.move objects on, but that all works. So best believe I will be doing that layout more often. We're onto the basement now, and I wanted it to look kind of run down. I don't think it does look really run down by the end of it. I used this funky flooring from Get to Work and just some kind of metal. And I play around with the layout in here so much. I extend it, I shift that desk with the computer back and forth. This bookcase, I think, actually disappears at some point because I wanted to put display tables in. Originally, I wanted like the big display case, and then I wanted like the display shelves from Get to Work. See, I cut out a bunch of stuff here, and now you see me just putting these white display tables in because I think if I get any collectibles that I want to keep, any crystals or anything, I'm going to display them there. Just onto the landscaping at the back now. Again, there's my hosta plant. They don't look so great right now because I think I was building in either spring or fall, so everything's kind of dead looking. I put more fencing here. I think I changed that fencing for the stairs to that as well, just to make it blend in. I just delete those so I can put the railings in again and make it look like the front. And then I believe we move on to the actual back garden this time. There's like a little bit in the corner that I add more landscaping and some trees to. I give her a pool because she likes luxury, so I figured that she'd probably want a pool. Her home isn't that luxurious in all honesty, but it's her like first home and we could work up to a more luxurious home because obviously as she progresses in her career she'll have more money and she'll want to provide more for her family. Like her entire generation is about wanting the best for her family, but she's never really there for them because she's constantly working so she can provide the best for them. You get me? And then any time that she does have is spent being mischievous with her friends. I put loads of these, I think, is it Lily of the Valley or something, just to fill up some space because it looked really empty. And I don't normally do that. I don't normally chuck a bunch of low-lying flowers in at the back there. It looked right, so I did it. Adding some dirt to all the landscaping here. I put I believe a little bench and this climbing frame from Romantic Garden stuff in the back because I figured it's really cute and she is going to have a kid, so why not have one there? Maybe it came with the building. I feel like all my backyard / patios look the same. I use this table constantly, this little bench. I put little sun loungers as well. I use the umbrella thing from Seasons. I didn't really like the mint colour. That's too blue and the other one's like really green. So I think I just use a beige one. Yeah, kind of like creamy white. I put a little table in and then I was going to put some drinks on it. But I think I just put the little juice jug thing from Backyard Stuff on the big table, the bench. And that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.